On this Fear No Fix video, we'll be changing out the VVT or VCT solenoid on a 2004 F-150 with a 5.4 liter V8. If you're reading a P0012, P0010, P0022, or just about any code relating to timing, it could be that your variable timing solenoid or actuator is on its way out. Some of the symptoms you might experience may include stalling, bucking, a rough idle, basically really rough running that changes on and off idle, and also maybe gets worse as your truck starts to heat up.
But before you get started on anything, make sure you check your oil. If your oil is dirty, it may plug up the sensor and then that could be causing your problem. So let's get started. The VVT solenoids on this engine are located here on the passenger side behind the oil filler tube, and on the driver's side underneath the power steering reservoir. Today we're going to be replacing the driver's side, but first I'm going to disconnect the battery. If you're removing the passenger side VVT solenoid, there's nothing in your way. You can go ahead and start working right here. Okay, next we're going to remove our air intake plumbing. We need to remove this 10mm bolt right here. Now we need to pull the air intake plumbing out and set it aside. In order to gain access to the VVT solenoid, we need to remove the power steering reservoir. We do that by removing 3 8mm bolts, one here and 2 in the back. And then move the reservoir out of the way. Next, we'll disconnect the solenoid. There's a tab on the inside of the plug. Push and pull out. And move the wiring harness out of the way. Okay, before we go any further, we're going to need to clean around this area to make sure that none of this dirt and debris get inside the engine. In order to remove the solenoid, there's a plastic grommet around it, and we will destroy this in order to get this solenoid out. So we will be replacing it. To get this out, you need to use a screwdriver and a hammer, or some other tool that you can get in to the 2 tabs, one on the bottom and one up towards the top. You'll want to hammer in from an angle so that you don't damage any part of the engine. Next, we need to remove the T27 Torx bolt, which is right up here, that holds the solenoid to the cylinder head. We're using a screwdriver for this. If you use a socket, you may hook it on the lip on the way out and lose your socket inside the engine. So we recommend using a screwdriver or a T-handle screwdriver to get this loose. In our case, this bolt is pretty stuck, so we're going to stick another screwdriver through the handle and torque that way. There we go. You don't need to worry about this screw falling down inside the engine. It's captive onto the solenoid. It'll come out with the solenoid when you pull it out. Okay, now we can remove the solenoid from the engine block. And this is the captive bolt we're talking about. Now we're ready to install our new solenoid. Need to slide it down and put it in the same place as the other one. Next, we need to screw down the T27 Torx screw that holds the solenoid down. We can't get a torque wrench in here, but the torque spec for this screw is 44 inch-pounds. Here's the grommet we took out earlier from the top. You see we had to really destroy and mess this thing up in order to get it out. We're going to install our new seal now. You'll see that there are 2 tabs that correspond to tabs on the cylinder head cover. Okay, next we're going to use our 22mm socket and an extension and we're going to tap that seal into place. Okay, now we're going to reconnect our sensor plug. The tab goes towards the back of the engine. You'll hear a click. Next, we're going to reinstall our power steering reservoir. To help with this, I'm going to just seat this bolt in. And now we'll install the 2 bolts on the back of the reservoir that hold it in. Next, we need to reinstall our air intake plumbing. And reinstall our 10mm bolt. Next, we torque the 10mm bolt to 80 inch-pounds or 6.67 foot-pounds. And lastly, we'll reconnect the negative terminal on our battery. And now we're done.
A lot easier than it looks. If this video helped you get your truck running normal and idling normally again, then give us a like. If you got any special tricks or tips or anything that you encountered while you were doing the repair, leave a comment below. Also, press the subscribe button and then hit the bell to get notifications for next time we've got a video available. And until next time, fear no fix.